Hello everyone and welcome to Super Mario Maker 2, a game you're seeing right now courtesy of my boyfriend Mint Essence, who was kind enough to send me his copy of Super Mario Maker 2 all the way from Scotland, which he erroneously spelled Scotland without the D. We're playing Super Mario Maker 2 for a couple reasons. One, because I think some things about it are fun, and why else would you play a video game? And two, because I need something to do while I'm waiting for my important doctor's appointment at the end of the month. What am I supposed to do? Just sit around feeling miserable? I can't just do that. That gets tiring real quick. Alright, so we're going to go to Course World and play newly created courses and get some first clears, because that's one of the things I like to do in this game is grind first clears on newly created courses. I just like being the first person to finish things. It's fun. It's an enjoyable pastime. I am going to edit out my failures, but it should be fun to talk about the level design. So through the lava sea, I learned a lot from this one, specifically about how those giant lava monsters work, lava serpents. Like where exactly the hitbox is. I don't know if you're meant to jump back and forth across the boxes to avoid these lava snakes. I just found out where the hitbox is and decided to duck for my life while waiting for the lava to go back down so we can proceed through the level. Is this a great level? Maybe not. It requires a lot of waiting in this first section. I think no matter how fast you go, you can't get to the platforms you need to before they're underwater. Under lava, I should say. This is not water, it is lava. And then when the lava goes down far enough, you have to make your way to the next set of boxes before the lava raises again. For some reason, these wooden crates are immune to lava, but you know, everything in Mario Maker 2 has weird properties, and that's part of where the creativity and level design comes from users. I was really worried, because I didn't know exactly how clear pipes worked, that this clear pipe might spit me out somewhere inside the lava, or somewhere that's currently covered in lava, and, like, I wouldn't have any means to progress forward. Now, we're going to slide down the wall, so we can get a good look at what's down there before we make our jump. Doing a blind jump is obviously worse. Sliding down the wall is, I think, how you're supposed to see what's up ahead. I think the level was designed with that in mind, if I had to guess. And the goal is right up here. I was fairly certain I'd get the first clear on this one, because even if other people started playing it alongside me at the same time, they'd probably think the level was too obnoxious to finish, or they would have a harder time with it. There's just a few things about it that made me think I would definitely get the first clear, like the waiting section at the start, and then the blind drop that's not really a blind drop as long as you slide down the wall first. Those probably irritate people into not finishing the level for a bit. Let's, I don't even remember this one from the name. Let's see. Oh, right. I'm really not sure how to feel about this one. I did feel smart for being able to bounce around boxes and use the skills I learned from the original Mario Maker's New Super Mario Bros. Skin here to platform good. But it's a pretty average level. Like, I would say the Nintendo World Championship Mario Bros. Levels in Mario Maker 1 were a lot harder than this, but this is fine. It's fine. And the only reason I think I got the first clear here is because I did pretty great movement on my first try and just cleared it immediately. I'm not really any good at 2D Mario, by the way. The new Super Mario Bros. Skin and mechanics are definitely my second favorite. I have a lot of experience with them because I played New Super Mario Bros. Wii a lot and had to finish it 100% for the long play archive, and that wasn't great fun for me. So this next level is exceptionally simple and easy, but it does take place in the 3D world theme, which is my favorite to play in because of all the movement options. I especially like getting this one in multiplayer versus because a lot of people don't use all the movement options. But aside from the fact that this level has two Cat Bowser fights that are completely ignorable, there's no reason someone shouldn't have finished this level before me, especially since I died here multiple times and took my sweet time getting to the end. The worst thing about it, aside from the two completely ignorable Cat Bowsers, is there's a bit of enemy spam at the end, but the enemy spam is also how you reach the goal. And if you're just holding the jump button, it should be fine. It's one of those levels where there's sadly not a lot to talk about. It's still another first clear, and it still feels good to have that first clear, but I played awful, and I'm really surprised someone didn't steal this one, because they definitely should have. I'm actually not super sure how the game keeps track of how many first clears you have. Unlike world records, first clears can't be taken away or anything, but I don't know if the game has a running tally for that on your profile, where I can see it even, or if it just keeps track of it for cosmetic unlock purposes somewhere that I can't see it. Either way, I'm not going to stop collecting them. I like seeing that little green ribbon telling me I got a first clear. Alright, this next level I remember causing me undue worry, because I thought for sure it was going to be more complicated than it actually was. You know, these levels are user-made, and whenever there's key doors, things can get crazy. Pipes and doors can lead fucking anywhere. They can lead anywhere in the goddamn world. So I just kind of got really nervous, because there's more than one key door. There was a P-switch, there was a hidden Yoshi. Like, who knows what was in this creator's mind while making this. Also, I don't know what difficulty any of these newly cleared courses are. I was grabbing the P-switch just in case, and it's like, I have the key, but who knows where this red door leads. Does it lead up there to the 2 Koopas I need to kill? I doubt it. But let's find out. And it does. Like, it just leads right there, and that's also the end of the level, and the other key door probably also led to those 2 Koopas. And then to the end of the level. So yeah, I was just freaking myself out over nothing. It's a perfectly sensible level that had nothing really wrong with it. And I think we're only going to look at one more level that I was grinding first clears on before we move on to the multiplayer versus. Because I love the multiplayer versus too, even though a lot of the time it's just an absolute train wreck. Playing Mario with other people, especially 2D Mario, is quite the novelty. This level is about learning to control your speed with ice physics, and therefore I love it. It's a very straightforward movement challenge where you have to precisely manage your movement speed while you're accelerated by ice. And I know a lot of people don't like ice physics in platformers. I love it. Always have loved it. Ice physics is great, fight me. To be clear, I meant to say ice physics are great, but I was getting a little too excited about my love of ice physics. Alright, let's look at the multiplayer versus now. So again, the novelty of playing a 2D platformer against other people is really the biggest draw for me. It's such a novelty, and I really like all the ways Nintendo tried to make Mario, which is definitely a very single-player game, competitive. Let alone competitive in user-made settings. I think this is a 3D world, so I already have a great advantage here. 3D World is my favorite theme, and I think that the movement options are a massive benefit to me most of the time while I'm playing. I had to check that tree for a cat bell. You never know. It never hurts to check. Might have slowed us down a little bit, but if we did get a cat bell out of that, it would have been massive. Oh, thanks! Toadette gave us a free power-up by accident, and there's no way we're fucking this up now. I haven't played 3D World in a long time. I don't really know how the cat suit's supposed to control, but I know that in this one you press the shoulder button to dive, and that's what I want, because that makes me go fast. Fucking smoked them. Versus isn't always that easy or fun or simple. Versus mode is kind of a huge mess. For some reason, the levels that Versus mode selects don't always have the Versus tag, so there's no guarantee that the levels will even be made with Versus in mind. You know, you could just get someone's single-player puzzle level or single-player troll level in Versus. And considering how much Versus really seems to want to be competitive, I mean, it has rankings and everything, and it counts your win streaks. It really seems like there's a lot they could be doing better, but it's stuff that thousands of other people, I'm sure, have already criticized. Thousands and thousands. This is one of the most normie games I've ever played. That's not a bad thing. I don't like using the word normie. I'm just saying, like, I don't play games often that tons and tons and tons of other people also play. Usually I play old shit that almost no one has any interest in anymore. But yeah, it would be cool if Versus Mode only selected levels that already have the multiplayer Versus tag. That would be great. I think that would be a really easy fix to implement. Sure, sometimes you get single player levels that are really fun in multiplayer Versus, but I don't think it's worth the risk. I really don't. Also, I was shocked to find out there's no way to search for levels by name. And when I looked it up, like, a lot of people were using the argument, well, there's so many levels named the same thing, you'd be scrolling for hours. And by that logic, any search engine is useless. I'm not searching for a level called My First Level or anything. Let's say I want to search and see if there are any Dynasty Warriors themed levels or anything like that, or any Lego themed levels. I can't. And, like, sure, I might find thousands of those. I doubt it. But I want to see. And, like, what if a level has an incredibly unique name that I would like to search, but I just can't? And instead I have to get the user ID? I'm not sure how finding levels actually works. So, you know, maybe there's more than one level out there called something like Bee Heaven, but I should still be allowed to search for it and pick out the one that looks similar to the one I'm looking for or looks the most interesting to me personally, even if there are thousands of levels named Bee Heaven. I'm glad we're in the 3D world theme. Every time I'm in the 3D world theme in Versus, I feel great. I just love all the movement options here. Everybody's fucking around with this block, but I feel like the pipe is probably where everybody should be focusing right now. There is lag happening. I'm sure it's visible to you. There is lag, and it's fucking with my inputs a little bit. Anybody who ever tells you that lag doesn't mess with inputs in Mario Maker 2 is lying. It's definitely a concern, and sometimes if the lag is bad enough, it will even eat your inputs. I really love this level. It's probably not built for Versus. I didn't see the multiplayer Versus tag on it. But the ability to use the bees to get higher faster makes me feel great. Because I know that everybody has to come through the same stuff I do, right? But I already have the lead, and I also get to ask myself, how many of them would use the bees as shortcuts? Especially with lag going on. Don't get me wrong, I definitely feel like I could have taken a lot more shortcuts than this, been a lot more daring about my movement, and it would have turned out even better. But I feel like I'm already so far in the lead, and every little boost I get from a Koopa or Bee to get to a cloud sooner than normal, that's just icing on the fucking cake. I also feel good that the 3D world theme looks and sounds so nice. Not a big fan of retro games. I've played a fair amount of them, but I'm not a fan of how NES games look and sound usually. So I don't really like the Super Mario Bros. And Mario Bros. 3 themes all that much. I have some negative, traumatic memories of Super Mario World. Everything in 3D World's theme is just soft and pleasant and bubbly, even when it's supposed to be foreboding and menacing. Can't really help but love it. You know what, we're gonna go for the top of the flagpole, just cause we can. Alright, that's a 2-win streak, which is rare for me. Again, I'm not very good at 2D Mario games. A level like that really should not have been in multiplayer Versus. It really shouldn't have. But I liked it a lot anyway. And even though it probably wasn't ever meant to be played in Versus, it would have been fine for Versus. It's a perfectly normal level without any real choke points. And we still haven't seen my favorite kind of multiplayer Versus level, the ones that are definitely meant for multiplayer and everyone gets a fair chance. Those ones are my favorite, where it's a series of obstacles and everybody gets a fair shot. All 4 players get segregated into their own pipes. They get to proceed down their own challenging pathway, and then, you know, whoever... Oh, well, that'll happen sometimes. Communication errors will happen. And then whoever's the best player just wins. Not that there isn't fun to be had in trying to steal win conditions from each other in multiplayer versus. The mind games involved in that are always pretty entertaining, even if you're on the losing end of the mind games. These have been exceptionally nice levels, though. Multiplayer versus is usually a lot fucking messier than this. There are levels with auto-scrolling that somehow get into multiplayer versus. That's a hot mess. There are levels that can get you soft-locked if played in multiplayer versus. Sometimes the lag is so bad it's just flat-out unplayable. Sometimes you spend the entire timer trying to get over one obstacle with everyone, and no one can do it, so the timer just runs out. The name of this level tells me it's some serious shit. That this is a serious multiplayer. Yep, here we go. A serious multiplayer level meant to be taken seriously in multiplayer. And even though this isn't my favorite theme, I'm feeling good about this. Yeah, see, everybody gets segregated into their own pipe. They can't be followed. And then everybody proceeds down a linear path of challenges, and everybody has some idea of where everyone else is because they can all see each other. Yeah, see? It's fun stuff. This is just jump height stuff that we're doing right now. Toad is fucking moving, though. Like, I like to think I'm pretty... Yeah, Toad's moving at least as good, if not better, much better than me, actually. He nailed that donut block. Yeah, there's no, like, real chaos in levels like this, but you can rest easy knowing that whoever wins was just the better player when you get a level like this. And there's something nice to be said about that, right? These levels are about optimizing movement. You can rest easy knowing everyone's going through the same shit you are. That's just not how it goes in real life, you know? You have no guarantee that anyone's going through the same shit you are, or ever has, or ever will. And, you know, do you want them to go through the same shit you are? Is that okay? Like, maybe that's messed up of you to want that? You probably shouldn't want people to go through the same pain you are, but you're so tired of being alone, and, you know, these medical emergencies are getting more frequent, and everybody keeps telling you it's going to be okay and not to freak out, but, you know, like, it's your body, and it feels awfully concerning to you, and you're wondering, like, would they be as calm if it were them? But you don't want it to happen to them. That would just be insane. That's such an awful thought to have. Why would you even have that thought? So you're in a position where you want them to understand what's going on with you, but you also don't want them to have to suffer what you're suffering through. And those things are really hard to have simultaneously. And, you know, maybe you're unintentionally living off the grid, so the government can't verify where you are, and it's difficult to get insurance or work with Social Security for important things right now. Maybe that's also happening because... And anyway, this level is actually really good. Like, there's no way I'm winning. Toad just is an excellent player. But it's all about movement. And I've learned a lot about how movement works with the Super Mario Bros. 2 mushroom from this level. And nothing about the challenges is unfair or mean in any way. The better player is definitely winning. Even earlier in the level, when I knew exactly what to do with the movement, Toad was fucking smoking me. But even though I'm definitely not winning, there's still a lot to be gained by trying. It's just plain fun to overcome these obstacles, learn more about how this mushroom power-up works. I need a running start to slide under this, and I don't think I can get enough of a running start in here. Yeah, okay. I need a running start, and then crouch jump over, and then slide under. That's rough. Like, this is what I mean. Toad's definitely the better, and he already got the clear condition, and the goal. But let's, yep, okay, we at least made it over that obstacle. The momentum sliding obstacle. This was an unusually pleasant session of multiplayer versus. Anyway, that's enough of that, I think. That's enough Mario Maker 2 for now. I had fun. Mario Maker 2 is fun. I'm going to play story mode for the long play archive eventually, after I finish the other thing I'm already doing for the long play archive. And hopefully, you know, still be alive and well for my appointment on the 24th. Hopefully all of that works out. Life's scary, you know? Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You gotta keep pushing, but it's not always easy. I'll see you guys next time. I wish I played as Toad more.